Why do we touch wood so that bad things will not happen? Why is it bad luck to break a mirror? Superstition and conspiracies exist in almost every culture and people genuinely believe in them. So in this video, I'll be sharing why is it so based on the current but limited understanding by neuroscience. Part 1. Pattern recognition. Superstition and conspiracies basically comes from our brain just seeing patterns and making connections with the things that we interact with, even though sometimes it can be unrelated or not real. Most of these beliefs come from someone just basically seeing two events happen together and then just thinking that one caused the other to happen. Why did our brain do that? Good question. The answers lie in how our brain processes information. In our daily lives, we are fed with lots of information through the 5 senses, but only some of those informations are useful for us for survival. And our brain has to process which of these information are the useful ones almost immediately. But because the brain has little time to process all the huge amount of information in short little amount of time, it relies on shortcuts to help with the filtering process. And one of those ways is recognizing and focusing on patterns. Our brains are constantly looking for patterns and links between events. Because in the past, humans were surrounded by dangers all the time where the speed we identify the threat could mean life or death. To our minds, literally anything could be a threat. If there's a rustling sound in the bushes, it is often safer for the brain to assume that it is danger, even if sometimes it produces false alarms. It is often better to recognize patterns that are not necessarily real or correct than to miss a threat, which can be a problem where superstitions will start to form. For example, if someone touches wood before saying a bad consequence like, if my pet dies, and then nothing bad happens. And then the brain will be like, oh, touching wood means nothing bad will happen. Even if the two events, touching wood and the dog not dying, are completely unrelated, the brain will still take note of them. Because the brain is constantly looking for relationships and patterns and constantly asking, did this cause that? And when this pattern happens again, the brain may think that, oh, my pet didn't die because I touched wood, instead of thinking that it is just a coincidence. And then they will just constantly touch wood when they say bad things, even though it makes no sense for these two to have a causation relationship. But our brain just rather be safe than just letting our pet die. Furthermore, these beliefs can also spread socially as well. For example, if someone grows in a family where he or she is surrounded by a certain superstition, more likely than not, they will adopt these beliefs as well. And as a result, these beliefs will turn into a widespread of superstition around the world. Part 2. Randomness handling. Apart from recognizing patterns, our brain also can't really handle randomness well. When something happens for no clear, apparent reason, most people cannot really accept that it can happen by chance. Instead, our brain will try to find an explanation no matter how weak it is to support the things that we just saw or we experienced. Because many things in life are unpredictable and out of our control, which can make us feel uncomfortable. And since our brain can't really comprehend that, it will try to find an explanation no matter how weak, no matter how accurate it is. For example, if someone is unlucky and experiences a series of unfortunate events, it is often easier for them to just think that there are hidden forces that kind of cause these events. Instead of just accepting that bad luck happens randomly, sometimes the brain just finds a random hidden reason to the events that happen to us. Maybe you have bad luck because you broke a mirror yesterday, or because you opened an umbrella indoors, or simply because it is just Friday the 13th. These explanations may not be true, but at least they give the brain some kind of a reason for the events that happen. So putting the tendency to look for patterns and not accepting randomness together can be one of the reasons why superstitions and conspiracy theories happen or form. But again, it is just one of those many reasons that superstitions can happen. So yeah, these are what I learned about how superstition and conspiracy theories work from the book The Idiot Brain by Dean Burnett. Anyways, that's my opinion. Bye.